It was a bright afternoon on August 1st, 2007, when thousands of drivers moved steadily across the I-35W Mississippi River Bridge in Minneapolis, Minnesota. A steel truss highway bridge that had carried traffic for nearly 40 years. For years it had stood as a vital artery of the city's road network, linking communities and moving commerce across the mighty Mississippi River, serving over 140,000 vehicles each day without incident. At approximately 6:05 p.m., just as rush hour began to peak and shadows stretched across the river, something unseen beneath the surface began to fail. Without any immediate warning, critical components deep within the bridge's structure, its gusset plates, the steel connectors that bound the trusses together, began to give way under stress. Within seconds, the central span of the bridge fractured and plunged toward the water below. Steel and concrete crashed into the river, sending up clouds of dust and twisting metal as part of the roadway fell 108 feet into the cold Mississippi. Cars, trucks, and a school bus carrying day camp children and staff were caught in the collapse, leaving drivers shocked and struggling to understand what was happening in those terrifying moments. Emergency responders reacted within minutes. Firefighters, paramedics, police, and volunteers worked relentlessly amid chaos, navigating unstable debris and water to pull survivors from the wreckage. Hospitals across the region treated 145 injured people, while first responders and volunteers searched for those still trapped. Tragically, 13 lives were lost in the disaster. In the aftermath, as the dust settled and shock spread through the city, investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, arrived within a day to uncover exactly what had gone wrong. The bridge had been designed in the 1960s and opened in November 1967, but decades later, hidden within its steel skeleton, a fundamental flaw had gone unnoticed. The NTSB's investigation revealed that several of the gusset plates, the flat steel sheets at critical joints connecting beams in the deck truss, were about half as thick as they should have been based on safe engineering practice. These undersized plates lacked adequate load capacity to handle the normal stresses of daily traffic, plus additional weight from construction materials placed on the bridge that day. This meant that when nearly 600,000 pounds of construction material and equipment were staged on the bridge for resurfacing work, and coupled with the heavy rush hour traffic, the weak plates reached a breaking point. They failed, and once those key nodes gave way, the deck truss had nowhere to redistribute the load, leading to the catastrophic collapse. Engineers also found that the design error went undetected through decades of inspections because traditional bridge inspections focused on visible deterioration like rust or corrosion, not the original calculations behind structural components like gusset plates. The collapsed bridge had been labeled structurally deficient years earlier, yet it was still carrying massive daily traffic when it failed. The emotional human impact was profound. People who survived spoke of hearing loud cracking sounds just moments before the span fell, as if the bridge itself was groaning under stress. Some drivers narrowly escaped their sinking vehicles, while others found themselves stranded on broken deck sections, waiting for rescue boats. Amid the horror, stories of courage emerged, like the young staff member who helped many of the children off the school bus and to safety despite smoke and chaos around him. The collapse didn't just devastate families, it shook the community's sense of safety and sparked a nationwide reckoning on infrastructure scrutiny. Engineers, policymakers, and transportation officials across the United States began to reevaluate bridge inspection techniques, load rating standards, and design reviews to prevent similar failures. The Federal Highway Administration, FHWA, issued guidance to ensure gusset plates and other critical elements are considered in load calculations going forward, and many states tightened inspection standards as a result. By the next year, construction had begun on a replacement, the I-35W St. Anthony Falls Bridge, built strong and fast, officially opening in September 2008 as a modern reminder of both tragedy and resilience. This is the essence of what Ruins and Remains explores: real stories of engineering, disaster, history, and human resilience. Every collapse has lessons buried in steel and concrete. Every ruin has a story worth telling. If you're fascinated by how structures shape lives and how we learn from what falls apart, subscribe and join us on this journey of uncovering hidden truths and the echoes of history left behind.